Great. I think it's good to go. So, very good evening to all the ladies and gentlemen who have joined us for today's webinar, uh, Navigating the Future of Generative AI, Opportunities for Enterprise Leaders. So, we are thrilled to have you with us for this webinar with a promise that it will be fascinating and an insightful session. In this ever evolving landscape of artificial intelligence, generative AI is emerging as a game changer, creating unprecedented opportunities for innovation across industries, right from manufacturing to the IT domain. Today, we are privileged to have with us a true pioneer in this field, Mr. Nanendra Sarkar, an AI expert with over 22 years of experience. Nyanendra has been at the forefront of AI advancement, guiding enterprises through complexities and potentials of AI technologies. His deep expertise and practical insight will provide us with a roadmap on leveraging generative AI to drive business transformations and achieve a competitive edge. So he had been on the data and AI platforms since long period. He had been working with TCS for a very long time, then continued with Larsen and Toubro, then with Vodafone, and now he's with Nielsen IQ, and he has contributed immensely to the field of academics, being on bodies of various universities and institutes, giving them deep insights into data and AI. So with these words, I'll not take more time. With these words, I hand over the dais to Mr. Jnanendra. Sir, over to you. So you are,
Sorry. Yeah. So actually, I shared my screen, and after that, I was not able to find out the unmute button. Okay, so right now is visible and audible, right?
yes, it is visible and audible.
Okay, great. So this one I'll minimize. Okay, thank you very much, sir, for the introduction, and good evening, everyone, for joining the course. This is the generative AI itself are very vast things, and the background is very even deep. So it is not possible to cover as many areas within these 45 minutes. So whatever the session I have actually designed to focus on certain areas, definitely not going into the deep. I am assuming that there are mix type of the audience, okay, so who are probably new, who are advanced, okay, who are mid advanced, okay, so those kinds of the audience. So in that respect, I have designed particular the session today. So some of the things definitely will be little technical, but I promise that it will not be too technical, okay, because without that, it will not be, you will not understand what exactly it is. But other things definitely I will keep as simple as possible in a layman terminologies, not going into much complexities. So the today's agenda will be something like this. So first we'll talk about some industry trend. Okay, so what is the current trend? Okay, so then productivity impact in different business domain. Okay, so various business domain they are actually adopting this particular the technology. So what is the productivity impact, the metric over there? And we'll talk about some key industries who are using generative AIs. Although all the industries in all dimensions, they are using it, but some of the key industries we will talk about. We'll also talk about something basics about generative AI. That's the background. Okay, so there I'll talk about a little bit of other technologies, how generative AI has evolved. Okay, so then we will talk about in the industry perspective, if you are going to implement it, but rather in the leadership side, when organizations they are trying to implement it, what are the things actually they need to focus on? in terms of the readiness. Okay, so whether they are ready to adopt this technology or not. And we'll see some of the business use cases. They're vast, but we will see some of the business use cases. We'll also talk about that implementation, the pattern, because different the situations, different pattern you need to put over there. So I'll talk about something, not in very detail, but yes, definitely it will be understandable to you. Okay. And we also at the end talk about something on the ethical side. Okay. So because that is the important part as well. Okay. So the AI area. So that's actually total agenda today. So let's see about the current trend. So if we see different the research analysts, they are predicting some kind of the potential of this particular the technology. McKinsey research, they have predicted that annually it has a potential to add like 4.4 trillion dollar. Okay, so revenue. So that is huge, right? So annually it has that potential. So organizations, when they are actually going to adopt this, definitely there should be some potentials. Okay, so yes, they will be benefited, and it has a capacity to generate that kind of an revenue. And in a various the area. Okay, so it is not just a particular area. In every aspect you will see like the you have an opportunity to use this particular technology. I will be little fast because anyway I have to complete the things, the overall part. Okay. But at the end, definitely there will be questions answer session. At that time, whatever the questions you have, you feel free to ask at that time. I will try to answer. I'm not telling that I know everything, but I will try to answer. And whatever I do not know, maybe later on you can reach to me, or maybe you can send that questions to Sir, and I'll later on I'll share that answer. Okay. So if we see that McKinsey, the breakup of that, if you see like left-hand side, it is talking about every business sectors. Okay, so and it has a potential of generating the revenue. All are $1 billion. Okay, so if you take about the banking part, it is 200 to 340 billion dollar. That has that capacities. Now that the potential is it is having. Even in the retail side, if you see the similar kind of capabilities is there, 240 to 390 billion dollars. And every sector, so whether it's the mechanical manufacturing, chemical, or the healthcare sectors, energy sectors, okay, everywhere it is not below $1 billion. Okay, so that is the things, the opportunities is having. And if you see that in each and every industry, there are different business verticals are there, right? Business functions, whether it is on marketing side or customer operations side or even IT side, supply chain side, every sectors you will see that it will actually cut across. Okay, so everywhere there are certain things, certain opportunities, you can use it and you will be benefited over there. So that is the potential over this particular the technology. Okay. Well, so Microsoft also has done some the research on the market side, and they have suggested, and they have picked actually the four prominent industries. One is the financial service, one is retail, manufacturing, and healthcare. And yes, it is truly they are doing great at this moment. They are adopting these technologies very rapidly. And not only this generative AI, basically generative AI is the new terminologies, but yes, AI is there, machine learning. Okay, so they are actually using different technologies. Okay, different techniques of AI and ML, and they are getting benefited. Okay, so over the time, so these particular things, this particular the slide is showing a little profile about their industries. Okay, so who are actually getting the benefited at this moment, how much amount they are spending monthly investment. Okay, so when an organization is spending money, monthly investment, they have actually kept in a budget, they have kept that amount. So that means they have actually realized that potential, the ROI. Okay, so these are the four different organizations. They are prominently, and if you go little deep, if you study more, yes, financial area, whether it's a banking, whether it is an your insurance area, or any other fintech area. Okay, so every the dimensions you have that opportunity. Healthcare also, I have kept one of the slide in the healthcare side. So we'll talk about that how actually in a healthcare side it is contributing. Manufacturing side as well. In the manufacturing side, recently I am actually working one of the customers actually in the manufacturing side, one of the automobile industries, one of the biggest automobile industries in the world. So I'm not taking the name, but they are actually trying to implement this AI and across their every aspect. So whether it is a design aspect or not, they are also trying to implement generative AI to generate their design. Okay, so when they are designing something at that time also they want to implement that. So okay, that also we are doing that. So in a design aspects, that also helpful. In the preventive maintenance side, that is also helpful. Okay, so whatever the task you can do, like let's say 2 or 3 months it will take normally, and using this technology it will be done within just few minutes. Okay, so that's the potential it has. Retail side as well. Okay, so when we are talking about this particular terminology, generative AI, let us see like what exactly it is. Okay, so what is generative AI? So now generative AI is a terminology. So okay, it is not in technology, but generative AI typically referring some models. Okay, so we'll talk about that models. So it is talking about some models underlying. We normally say it is a large language model, LLM. Okay, and definitely it is an algorithms. There are the algorithms, and it has a capability to generate something. Okay, that is why it is generative. Generate something means generate text, generate image, generate videos. Okay, so all those stuff. If I want to summarize some text, so that is also possible. Okay, so if I want to generate some image, okay, I'm talking to generate some kind of the content over there I need, then that also actually the generative. So means this is the concept of this generative part. Application, definitely it has an wide applications and huge potentials. Okay, so now when we are talking about this generative AI, so we need to think about that LLM. I actually referred that term the LLM, large language model. What exactly it is? Okay, I have to step back a little bit. Okay, so let's go a little back. Okay, so although it is not much technical, but yes, a little bit, just I'm giving an idea. So machine learning is one of the part which is talking about like the algorithms, okay, the learning techniques, okay, the how machine will learn. Okay, so different type of machine learning techniques are there. This is the machine learning techniques. This is used to achieve the different the target and objective in the artificial intelligence area. Okay, so artificial intelligence is the vast area. There are different domains, and to actually achieve the goal of that. Okay, so we take the help of the machine learning techniques. Okay, so in the certain areas, definitely, and the majority areas. So in a commercial industries, we normally talk about the computational intelligence, which is actually the machine learning techniques. Okay, but in a robotic side as well. Okay, so that also being used, underlying that algorithms are there. Now these machine learning techniques are different type of machine learning techniques. Broadly I can talk about like supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement, and semi-supervised. Supervised means I know something, and after that based on that my knowledge I am actually answering something. Okay, so just like in human being. Okay, so I am learning something and then I am answering the question paper, right? So similarly machine also is learning something. Okay, so from the past. Okay, so that past means in the past data, historical data. So that is actually supervised. Okay, so I have learned and then I am answering some the questions. Unsupervised is the unknown word. Okay, so when we are dealing with the unknown things, the categorizations or labeling and all those stuff, finding the pattern. Okay, so we do not know the things, but we are actually discovering that. So that part is the unsupervised part, and semi-supervised fall in between these two. Reinforcement is something like in a supervised, when I'm answering, let's say in a human being, I have learned something, I am answering the question paper, and result is coming, which is kind of a feedback, right? So whether it's a positive or negative marks, okay, that is actually giving me a feedback, right? The same thing, same concept is actually provided here. So after giving the answer, the system is taking feedback from the environment. Environment will provide the positive feedback or the negative feedback. So that we call is the award, positive award or negative award. Negative award is a punishment. So why it is so? Because the answer, if it is correct, then the environment is giving the feedback. It is a positive. Okay, so that is the award, positive award. If it is wrong, then it is giving a negative award. So it is a punishment, so that the machine can readjust itself for the next time when it will give that answer. So based on this feedback, okay, so that is nothing but your the reinforcement learning. Now we talk about here supervised learning. Now there are different type of supervised learning. One of them is the neural network. So neural network is something like how human being they are thinking. That is the neural, the structure of the human body. It is very complex. So we are not going to talk about the complex part, but the simplified version of that neuron is actually mathematically modeled, and we talk about is a neural network. Okay, so the way information is passed in one neuron, one into another end, or one neuron to another neuron. The same concept actually we have kept in the neural network side. Okay, so the mathematical model is something like this. Okay, so we have inputs, we have outputs, and certain the layers in betweens. Those we call is a hidden layer, and all the circle in betweens, blue circles are called is a neuron. Okay, they are connected to each other, and the information flows from left to right. That is input to output. Okay, so that is a call about the feed forward. That information is actually going forward, so we call it a feed forward. Okay. Now, when this number of layers in between the hidden layer, when it gets increased, okay, so then we call it a deep. Okay, so just like in deep forest, where it is so much dense, right? So many trees, so much dense. So the same concept over here. So when number of layers are huge, and number of neurons in each of the layer is huge, so then it is kind of in deep. So that is why we call it a deep learning. Okay, so nothing else. Okay, so that's the thing. So now information will flow from left to right. So is the feed forward part. It also can go back. Okay, so in the recurring concept. Okay, so some of the cases we will see like it is a recurring part is required. Okay, the sequential part when we need to talk about, so that kind of thing. So the previous layer, I can actually send information from the next layer to previous layer. Okay, so similarly, we also can skip any layer also. Okay, so this is the different type of the structure actually in a neural network. Okay, in a deep learning world, this is a permutation combination. Based on that, we create different type of network. Okay, different type of actually architecture. And we name it a different way for the different purpose. Okay, so we will be using this deep learning for this whatever shall we call it, the generative AI part. Okay, so I'm coming into that part. Okay, so in this way, the different type of architecture is there. One of them is called is a RNN, is a recurring neural network. Recurring we have seen like in a previous slide. The recurring means it is actually information is going forward, as well as it is going in the previous layer as well to take care about the sequence. What kind of sequence? When we are talking about a language, okay, so their language is what? It's a set of words, right? So now this set of words, if we put in a particular sequence, then it makes sense, okay? It is a meaningful. But the same set of word, if we actually arrange in a random way, then it will not make any sense, okay? So that means the position and the sequence is very important, and that part is actually taken care by this particular particular deep learning architecture. Okay, so that we call is a RNN. Okay, so that this is the sentence like what time is it? So it actually taking every word in a sequence. Okay, so, and position of every word is important. Okay, so that is taken care, but it has some problem. Okay, so in technical word, basically what happens, like when I am actually learning at the learning time, what exactly happens, like means I am actually comparing with a true value, right? So I mean, if I am teaching a baby by showing one picture of the cat, okay, so I'm telling that this is a cat. Okay, then I'm asking him that what it is, and he is telling no, it is actually the dog. So that means an error, right? So then again, I am teaching that the kid, okay, and he or she actually will answer again the wrong thing. So in an iterative way, he or she is actually learning that. So this is that error is getting minimized. Okay, so that means whatever the feedback is coming, that actual information, true value and the predicted value, the answer value, if there is any difference, then that is actually error, and that error is adjusted in a reverse direction. Okay, so in every layer, it adjusts its parameters so that in the next time learning, it can learn it. Okay, so but problem is that this is so small. This part error part is so small. Then in a deep learning, the number of layers are huge and neurons are huge. And some point of time, it became so negligible. Okay, so small that it's something like an vanished. Okay, so that we call is a gradient descent vanished. Okay, that problem is there. So when this situation is actually happening, so it is as good as my previous learning, right? So I'm not actually able to readjust that because it vanished, right? So there is no adjustment, no new the learning over there. So that is a problem. Okay, so that is why we do not get a proper result. So for this particular the problem, the researcher they came up with a concept of LSTM. Okay, that is a uh, 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 mm, uh, 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 long short term the memory. Okay, so this is actually the full form. Okay, so where exactly it is, it is talking about like what to forget, what to learn. Okay, that kind of an capabilities is kept. Okay, some of the mechanism has actually built over there. So it will think about what to forget and what portion is need to for the learn. Okay, so that kind of a thing is there. Okay, that is fine. So that particular the problem is overcome. The problem is that in a real life example, we will deal with the huge text. Okay, so when it is not a sentence, right? It will kind of a novel, it will be a story or something like that. Okay, so there is a huge text, and that time normally say the situation is something like an I'm summarizing something. Okay, or maybe I'm translating the language. Okay, from English to let's say German. Okay, at that time, those kinds of places, there is another concept is the encoder and decoder. Okay, so the encoder and decoder is looking like this. Okay, encoder is taking informations input and it compressed. Okay, and after compression, the decoder part expanded. Okay, so it used in that translation kind of the situation. The problem is that when we use this LSTM kind of the mechanism during compressions, there are a loss of informations. Okay, so now when there is a loss of information, so then that compressed mode with a loss of information, it is difficult to again expand that. Okay, to recreate that particular things. Okay, so that problem is there when we have a huge informations. Okay, so for that one, the researcher they came up with one mechanism that between this encoder and decoder, they have put one the mechanism they call is a attention layer. Attention means you pay attention on some of the things. Okay, you cannot forget it, you cannot lose it. That information. Okay, that is actually the attention layer. There are different type of attention, but yes, right now think about there is an attention layer. Now this encoder decoder attention, this all together we call it is a transformer. Okay, this is a transformer which is actually the building block of my LLM. Okay, so transformer will look like this. Okay, so it will actually consist of three parts. One is encoder, one is decoder, another one is the attention layer. So this is nothing but the building block of the LLM. So every LLM, what we are talking about today, most of them are basically built over this particular concept. Okay, so this is the there. Now these particular things is pre-trained using billions of informations, and we create like in ChatGPT kind of things. Okay, so it is learned and we use it. Okay, so that's actually the concept of your LLM. And this LLM is actually use underlying technology is LLM, but we call it kind of a generative AI. Why it is a generative AI? Because it is generating something. Okay, so generative AI itself is not a technology. Underlying it is they are LLM, or similarly there are other models are also there. Okay, for the video, the image, and all of them. But this is the concept of that. Okay, so this is the background over here. Now, if we see the timeline, even the last year, we have almost in every month or every 2 months, we have seen the lot of release from different organizations. Okay, and everybody is very much competitive. Okay, so we cannot tell that it is bad or it is good. Okay, so that right. So Llama is basically released by Facebook, the Meta today. The Chat GPT, which is open source, sorry, OpenAI, and OpenAI right now, the partnership with Microsoft, it is right now the Microsoft product. That is the GPT one. And on top of that, they have created ChatGPT. There are a lot of versions over there. In last year, March, we have seen GPT-4, but recently they have released even GPT-4o. It is a multilingual and multi-model. Multi-model means the single models. Okay, so this particular arrangement will handle text, image, video, everything. Okay, that is why it's called as a multi-model. And multilingual is it can handle different language. Okay, so if you see, like, it is very big. Okay, so Llama also recently they have released 3.1. It has in different versions. The biggest one is the 405 billion parameters are there. The GPT is having 1.7 trillion the parameters over there. Gamma is actually released by Google. Gamma 2 has come up. So the Google has one versions, one technology that is the Gemini. Okay, Gemini, uh, but that was huge. So they have actually released one lighter version that is the Gemini Gamma. But Gamma basically is only taking care of the English language, not the multiple language. Okay, so it is only focusing on when you are talking about a particular focused area, not in generic area. So then you can use it. It is a smaller version. So there are different versions: 2 billion parameters, 9 billion parameters, 13 billion parameters, 70 billion parameters, different versions. And according to your use, you can use it. Among them, GPT right now is the commercial. The Gamma, Llama, they are open source still now. Mistral is one of them. So that is very much potential right now, is very good. I have seen that. The Mistral Nemo. Mistral Nemo actually is a combination with the collaboration with NVIDIA. NVIDIA, the company is a graphics company. So they are focusing on that AI very much, and the collaboration with them, actually, they have come up with the Mistral Nemo. Okay, so these are the recent release in 2024. Just last month they have released it, but we have seen that these are the release over the year. But this is not unlimited. Okay, so there are hundreds of such things. Okay, so based on that, based on our use case, we should use it. So this is something like an LLM. Key players are OpenAI. They are focusing on more on the NLP area, but right now they are definitely focusing on other area as well. NVIDIA graphics area, image. They are focusing on Google. They are talking about the deep learning research they have from since long. Okay, Facebook also talking about the social media. So now we will see some the readiness perspective. Okay, I'm little fast. Okay, so if you are thinking like too fast, you can actually tell me. Okay, but I'm little fast to complete this. Okay, so the AI readiness means when I am talking about adopting this technology in my industries, I need to be very much careful about my readiness in organizations. Okay, so that is very important part. Many a cases it happened like I am actually interested about the buzzword that my neighbor is doing something. I also need to do something. That is not the case. Okay, so I have to think about my ecosystem is ready or not, my use case is that much means the good enough to use that kind of a technology or not. Okay, so just I'm hearing the buzzword, I need to apply, don't go with that. Okay, so we have to be very careful about it. And industry definitely guiding the people who are new in this area, definitely non-technical, the business leaders, they definitely need the guidance. So experts are there, they guide in that respect. Okay, so let's see, and different architecture pattern and business use case also we'll see. Okay, So when we are talking about the AI readiness, we have to think about in a different aspect, in a business strategy, in a technology side, but and also like an AI strategy also need to have. I have in my organizations. Organization culture also is important. Okay, so just I'm implementing it. It is not about that. Everybody from top to bottom in every persona with their respective areas, we need to align them with this culture. Okay, and overall, we need to have an AI governance over there. Okay, so business strategy definitely I need to have whether my business goals is supporting on that or not, whether what kind of an use case we are going to do it. Okay, so it is eligible for this kind of technology or not. Okay, so if not, then don't do it. Okay, so that kind of thing. So if it is actually important to implement that, then I will go for the technology. Data strategy is very important, right? Because everything we are talking about that based on the data, it's a data driven. My data quality is important. If my data quality is not good, it will be in, garbage out. Okay, so I will not get the correct result over there. So these are the actually the driving factor for AI readiness. Okay, I have to check in every aspect over there. So now different people, they are actually doing different way, and they are in a different stage. Somebody is exploring, somebody is in planning stage, somebody is implementing, actually somebody is realizing. Some organization, they have realized ROI. Okay, but every stages people are taking getting some benefits over there. Okay, every stages, if you see, yes, when the people have realized, so definitely they will invest more on that. Okay, so they will grow. Okay, so that time, so that's actually some research from the Microsoft part. So now when I'm going to implement it, there are certain aspect I have to think about. Okay, so whether I am going to should I build my LLM from scratch? Okay, or should I do something else? Okay. So now, if I build something for my own LLM, just like my own LLM, okay, so it will be very, very expensive. Okay. So then I have to think about whether the investment what I am going to make for that particular the activities to build my LLM, it is the business viable. So whatever the business, the use cases we are talking about, whether the ROI will be that kind of things. Okay, so investment is good or not. Okay, so then only I will actually choose like what kind of an architecture. So building new is good, but building new is something like an means is kinds of very expensive way. Okay, so you need to invest on the infrastructure side. You also need to wait because it is not a one night task. Okay, so it will take time. Okay, so that kind of a thing. So another part is another way I can do is the fine tuning. Fine tuning means I will take some the already pre-trained model like in GPT, okay, or the Llama. Okay, on top of that, I will actually add my business the informations which is basically contextualized with my business. Okay, and I will fine tune that. That is also expensive as compared to as compared to building from scratch. It is not expensive, but it is also expensive. Okay, this is another one. Okay, and third part is the RAG. We talk about the another the way of implementation. Okay, so that we will talk later on. This is also something like another type of implementation. I will explain it. Okay, so mostly organizations, they are adopting this RAG technology. Okay, so RAG implementation part. Why it is so? We'll see. So RAG is something like an retrieval augmented generation. Okay, the full form is that. What exactly it is? LLM, we will talk, we'll take LLM, let's say Llama or the GPT. Okay, so whether it will be hosted in cloud or it will be hosted in my on-prem, that is fine. Okay, but my data, definitely I will not host in some public area. Okay, so I'll be hosting on my private cloud or maybe my on-prem. Okay, so that we will keep as a vector database. Okay, So normally what happens, like whatever the information I have in organizations, that I will generate as a vector and store as a vector database, that we will use some models that we call as the embedding models. We'll create a vector database. And when I need that information, I will actually check from the vector. But vector is something like a numeric part. Okay, it's a very technical part. So the generation part, that answer or that output will come like a human way, like the how a human being is answering that. In that way, it will come that answer. That part is done by that LLM. Okay, so here I am not going to fine tune it. Here I am not going to retrain it. Okay, so I am just using that LLM for the generation perspective. But informations I am actually taking from the vector DB. Okay, so this is the most the popular the way of implementation, and everybody is doing so. So it has some advantage, has some disadvantage. Okay, so let's see what are the advantage, what are the disadvantage. So advantage is that it is always up-to-date information, because incremental way I can actually add information in my vector database. Okay, so it is also very much transparent and also the trustworthy, because anyway that vector database I can also host in my own premises and it will be under my control. Okay, so but there are integration, okay, integration point of things. Okay, so that kind of a thing is there. Sometimes is some of the informations will create some biasness. Okay, that kind of a disadvantage is there. Always one technology will have all the time a benefit advantage, but there is no limitation. It is not possible. So based on my use cases, I have to select which implementation, the pattern I have to take. Okay, and we have to take a trade-off. So that for that one, that experts are there and they will suggest what exactly it is. They will understand the situations and they will guide what exactly the architecture pattern you need to do. In fine-tune cases, what exactly it is? Fine-tune cases, yes, the business value is high there, and it is a specialized way because I am only using my fine tuning, using my business, the contextual informations. Okay. Resource efficiency compared to building from scratch, I told that it is little definitely the cheaper. But definitely overall, if you see, it is also expensive. It needs powerful the machine, and the challenge, there are possibilities of overfitting. Okay, so I'm not going to expand that word, but the people who having the technical the background, they understand that overfitting the problem. So and also there is a complicacy in the hyperparameter tuning. When I'm going for the tuning part, you need to actually take care about the tuning of lot more parameters. Okay, so you can understand that billions of parameters are there, and tuning for to tune that one, definitely you need to have that kind of a resource over there. Okay, so that means the higher cost and higher time and all those stuffs. Okay, so that is why it is the challenge over there. But these are both are popular. Most popular is RAG, and the second popular is fine tune. But both of them are being used instead of building from scratch. But many organizations, they are building from scratch, even for my the organizations. Okay, so they are right now thinking about creating their own LLM. So that is why they have done a deal with Intel. They are building their own investing over there, and they will create their own LLM from scratch. Okay, and that will be used because that is their business. Okay, so that is why they are doing that. But if I am actually in a bank, definitely it is not my main business. Okay, so then I'm not going into that particular LLM creations. I will either choose RAG or fine tune case. Okay, so if I see there certain comparison in the parameter side, data source, definitely in a RAG, external data, internal data, both I can actually use over there. Change in a model, yes, RAG, there is no need to change in a model because I'm not touching that. But fine tuning, yes, the model is getting changed because I'm retaining it. And learning case, definitely in case of the RAG, it is very dynamic because in incremental way, I'm adding informations over there, but fine tuning, once I have retrained, it will be used as a static. Again, if I need to actually change it, I have to again return it. Okay, it's a kind of a very the hectic way. Okay, accuracy, both the cases it is high. Okay, so there is no comparison. It's as compared to these two. When I'm comparing these two, yes, both of them are very much competitive in the accuracy side. Scalability, A RAG definitely is a scalable, okay, because whatever the informations are kept in the vector database, I can create in a diverse way in data architecture where people who have the background on the data architecture side, they can understand, like I can create like a mesh architecture, okay, so that also federated architectures, okay, and also the computational part also I can scale, okay. The scalability perspective, RAG is very flexible on that fine-tuning part. Yes, it is also scalable, but it is not that much flexible. Okay, so certain cases the parallelism is a problem. Okay, but yes, it is. It also can be done. Okay, resource optimizations. Anyways, we understand. Like in the training time, it is resource intensive for the fine tune case. Okay, but in case of RAG, we are not going to retrain, so there is no question of that. So that's all about. Let's think about. Let's see certain use cases in a commercial bank. If we take example, every sector we have the opportunities, whether it's the sales, whether it's the customer onboarding, whether it's a product fulfillment or the customer service or the corporate exchange, everywhere we have that. Okay, for example, sales, the client advisory solutions, I can do it, okay, using my generative AI. I can actually use it, okay. Complexity is not that much, but yes, I will get a great value over there, okay. So even to go for the target audience, target customers, I can target, yes, very easily. I can do it. Okay, even the customer onboarding part is also very much easy. Document tracking, even the document intelligence part is also very important. Okay, information extraction from document when you are actually getting some document from the customers, whether it's a digital or is a hard copy. Hard copy you also can scan, and from there you can get the informations. After that, you can extract informations over there easily using generative AI and build the relationship among those, and then do an analytics over there, take some decisions. Okay, so all those stuff. Whether customer service is also very much easy right now. Even you do not need a human being over there in a customer side. Okay, you can create a virtual bot. That virtual bot, I'm not talking about only the text bot. Okay, it's a chat bot. It's a voice as well. Okay, so over the telephone, you will talk to a virtual bot. You will not realize that it is a human being. Okay, there is no human being, but you are talking to a virtual bot, just like you are talking to a human being. Recently, one of the insurance company, I have made that one of the solutions. Okay, so their target is to actually automate entire the communication things without human being. Okay, so that is automated part. That solutions are built over there. So okay, insurance, based insurance company, they are doing that. Okay, so in a customer side, customer service. So whatever the questions you ask, as just like a human being, you are human being, you are asking question in your way, and you will answer. That virtual bot will answer just like a human being. It will fetch information from correct information from that organization's that the vector database, and it will tell you exactly the way a human being talk. Okay, so that the things it is there, and many people are doing right now. Many organizations have done, and it is a definitely a huge benefit for organizations. Okay, so this is the banking sector. If we see the other sectors, the healthcare sector, in a healthcare sector, diverse area, right? Whether it's the core healthcare sector, medical systems, diagnosis, even the your pathological area, or the your medicine discovery, drug manufacturing part, or even the hospital administration part, the retail part. Okay, and every aspect, the generative AI, it has an capability to handle it. Okay, and ultimately data is what? Data is either text, video, image. Okay, so those kinds of things, and the gene sequence as well. Okay, gene sequence right now is very there are a lot of techniques are there to actually work on the gene sequence. I have worked, okay, since the COVID time, I have worked on that. And certain research papers are also there. You can go through my publications related to COVID, and also the breast cancer detection part. Okay, so there are some the publications. My publications are there using that AI. Okay, so that it can do. It has that capacities. Okay, so even diagnosis of the of your the disease. Okay, that is right now is so accurate, just like in doctor history. Okay, so over the time, definitely the doctors will be busy with more critical things, but in a traditional the treatment that will be taken care by the AI. Okay, so that the doctor will not do. But over the time, even the surgery also will be done by the AI robotics. Okay, so then the doctors will be more busy on the more productive area, more innovative area, right? The research area and all those stuff. So they will get more time on that. They will not spend time on that. This the diagnosis part or the normal treatment part or the normal the surgery part. Okay, so that they will not actually spend time over there, but they will be busy with some new things. Okay, so that is definitely one of the opportunities over there, and then people are actually going into that direction only. Okay, if we see that agriculture side, agriculture is also one of the area where right now is taking the advantage of this generative AI technology. It's not only generative AI is the terminology, but it is actually taking the advantage of that AI technology, right? So you can analyze the different chemical components, you can analyze the soil, you can analyze the weather, you can analyze many things, and you can correlate of them, and then you can do some kind of a decision in the agriculture side. Not only that, I can create some kind of a chatbot over there. Okay, and they are the personalized informations will be given to that. Okay, so personalized, just the personalized information. Okay, it is not a generic. Okay, so whatever I need, I will get that information. So that kind of an information, just I have given two use cases over here, but it is not limited to these two use cases. There are a lot more things over there. Even you can use the IoT technology combining with this. There are the potentials. Okay, you think about the drone. Okay, you use the drone and you take that image where you cannot reach, human being cannot reach. Okay, in your field, when crop is there. Okay, so then you can take image over there, you see, analyze it quickly, it can analyze, and what is possible you can actually apply over there. You can spray over there. Okay, so when human being cannot reach, you can actually spray over there by drone. Okay, so combining this different technology underlying the algorithms you are using generative AI. Okay, and you can get the huge potential over there. And organizations, for the business leaders, there are that opportunity to invest on that. Okay, because there are the we have seen the McKinsey the research that it can generate the revenue. Okay, because it has an growing sectors right now. Definitely, they can think of over there. So it has an potential over there. Well, so I'm not sure how much time. I mean, I'm too fast or I'm going actually. Okay.
I think
So the ethical.
we can continue, sir. It's interesting.
Okay. So ethical side is definitely there is much talk about this ethical. Okay. So much talk about ethical means let's say autonomous car. Okay. So when there is no driver, who will be responsible for any accident? Okay. I mean, in case of insurance, who will be responsible for that? Even whatever the result is coming, if it is wrong, okay, then who is responsible for that? Okay, and the data privacy risk over there. Okay, these are the ethical things are coming up today. Okay, nowadays people are talking about that, and it is a very fair ask for every organizations. Okay, so the thing is that these are not related to the technology, right? We have technology, but now we have to set our process, right? The process is the man-made process. Okay, the whatever the process we have set today, it is an decade-old process, right? So, but just like let's say, for example, then the other numbers, right? So the government they have told like you use VID, right? You use VID. You use the mask Aadhaar card, okay. But if you go in a registry office, okay, the property registry office, the people they do not know, they have not updated themselves. They will actually force you to actually give the Aadhaar card, even the fingerprints, right? So there is so many fraud is going on with the fingerprint. But why you are going to print the fingerprint on the paper, right? So it is a decade old of the technology. The time when actually we have introduced this printed part, that time these kinds of things was not there, right? So now we have the capabilities to actually read the thumb impressions from the paper, and I can clone it. Then I have to change that entire process as well. I cannot actually continue my decade-old process. Okay, so we have to update that. Okay, so this is that important part, and people are right now serious about that. And every organizations, every country, they have created committees. Okay, and we are working on that, to building on that kind of a process, updating process. Okay, taking that part. Okay, so certain areas definitely they are focusing on that. Organization, they think about these are the area like inaccuracy part, cyber security part, whether the my intellectual property information is going to be published or not. Okay, so regulatory compliance, lot of things, lot of areas you can see I have noted over here. Their organization thinks like it is a risk. An organization is working on that to mitigate the risk. Okay, because mitigate the risk is to update the process. Okay, so that's the thing people are doing. The same thing actually I have done like the different part. Okay, so starting from when you are building even that algorithm, you have to think about your process. So that is why I have told the culture. Okay, so whenever you are building something, it is not just by a single team. Okay, so it is a combination of many teams, right? In organizations, and every sector you have to be very much updated over there. You have to have a very streamlined process which is compatible with this particular technology. Okay, so then only we can create one very responsible the system. Okay, so even when persons is actually building the algorithms, even that developer need to be very careful. There should be review process. Okay, so all those stuffs, the code should not be biased, and all those stuffs needs to be, and whatever result is coming, that should be very much transparent and user trusty. Okay, it should not be kind of a black box. Okay, so those kinds of things user need to know, like why the result is coming in this way, and you need to be very good enough to explain that why it is so. And if organization, if the user is talking about my data, okay, I need to be very much transparent that this data is used over there and this result is coming up. Okay, so I cannot say like machine has actually done that. No, I need to be very ready to answer those questions. So social considerations also there. Okay, so even as I told, that framework is actually is being built right now. Different people. So already GDPR, CCPA, they have taken care of the compliance part. But right now they are also updating because of this generative AI part. Okay, European Parliament, they have taken a significant step just to formalize this Artificial Intelligence Act. Our government of India, they are also working on this, on that AI part. They have probably set up one committee, and they are working on that to formalize that entire process. Okay, so over the time, definitely we will get very much responsible the AI. Today, whatever the questions we have, tomorrow definitely will not have. Just for example, like when I was working in Vodafone, at that time the cloud has come up. Just at that time, the process was very much different. Okay, it was not allowing to adopt the cloud because of the regulatory policy. It was restricting that. And that policy was not updated. But over the time, it was updated. And then now the organizations, they are using like cloud. They are using cloud. Okay. So you need to build that process. Okay. So that's the things. And you have to create the best practice, your every aspect. Okay. It is not just one sector, but every business functionalities, every process, every stage of your process, you need to bring this the best practice. Okay. Well, so some of the future applications, as I told already, it is not something new. Like robot will actually do many things. Doctor will help some other things. Okay, yeah, they will do some more productive work. Okay, so even the self-driving car also will be more the modern. Okay, and more intelligent over there. And every aspect actually people will be benefited over there. And there are huge opportunity, huge application opportunities. And definitely the opportunity means definitely a job market also, there will be an opportunity over there. So the people are investing on that. You have already seen that how much investment they are making every month, billions of things, billions of money they are investing on that. So that's actually all about from my side. and then I'm open to take the question.
Sir, thank you, Mr. Sarkar. I am feeling like we had not done the justice with the topic, giving you a limited time frame. I think it would require uh, at least 4 to 6 hours of insights from you for us to understand the topic in more details. So thank you so much for delivering it in such a short notice. Uh, Anyone who has any question, you may please raise your hands and please feel free to ask the question. Meanwhile, I request everyone to switch on their cameras so that we can have a group photograph towards the end of the session. And I have one question to understand. You mentioned in your initial slides about the AI, what to forget and what to retain, right? So I'm not knowing, I'm an unknown person into this domain. So that generates a curiosity to understand whether the system has developed itself to unlearn certain things.
Yes, when you are actually reading a long sequence, okay. We will give some weightage, the some of the area like where there are mechanism over there. LSTM you have seen, like LSTM. So we have actually that kind of a mechanism has been introduced. Okay, certain things we will give that weightage. Okay, so that we will keep that. We will not forget it. Okay, and certain things in a long sequence. Okay, so I will forget, means I will not remember everything. Okay, so because of the memory, memory is one of the constant. Okay, so if I actually keep everything in memory, that will not be possible for the long sequence. Okay, so definitely over the means it will be natural that some of the things I'll not be able to store. So that is why this mechanism has been introduced. Like certain things I will give some weightage, higher weightage, so that I'll remember that. I means in the layman terminology, this is a remember, and some of them are lower weightage. So that means it is not that much significant. I can forget it at this moment. Okay, so that will be released from that memory. Okay, so that is actually the mechanism it is having. So it is inbuilt in a LSTM.
Great, great, good to know that. So anyone have any question, please raise your hands. Rohit, I think, do you have any question? Rohit? Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, do you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, raise your hand. So I thought you are willing to. So thank you, Mr. Sarkar. So right from the initial industry trends, basics of generative AI, its readiness, then its ethical consideration. I feel you covered a lot of domains into this a limited time frame. We are sorry to offer you such a limited time frame. For me, it was definitely a big learning from the impact slide showing education. Yes, one more query from my side. Sir, you showed an impact slide, and on one side vertically the education was mentioned there, and on the other side supply chain was there. So can you give me an insight that what is the angle? How should we understand that in this particular domain in education sector, supply chain, here the impact will be very much high of the AI. In your initial slides, you explained.
Right. So in education side, today also it is called as the edutech, edutech, the industry, right? So education is also something like a product right now, right? So that product you are actually checking from your factory to the customers. Customers is students right now. Okay. So this is something like, and definitely you have to follow on supply chain, right? So this supply chain, all the components, all the building blocks you have to actually follow. Okay, just like an product, like an retail product, how you are providing from your the store to the customers or factory to customers. Similarly, the educations also, if I am thinking about a product, how I am actually taking to my students, okay, in a different channel. Okay, so the physically, virtually, whatever it is. So there will be logistics things, there will be a lot of other things over there. Okay, so how quickly I can do that, even how easily I can do that. Okay, so that is the different way I can actually take that education product to my students. Okay, so so that is actually in the supply chain. And their generative AI definitely is a definitely one of the area, like in a virtual part. Okay, so virtually also you can doing a lot of things. Okay, so their generative AI I can actually implement over there. Even let's say virtually you are showing something like, say, you are embedding like in your what I'll say, virtual reality kind of things, okay, in your product. Okay, so that will be more interesting for your educations. Okay, so how you are bringing that to your students, that's the total path is defining the supply chain, and
In the
generative AI
supply
definitely
chain.
has the
Okay, in that
capacity.
aspect. Okay, so now just narrating this example, now there are startups who have came up with a chatbot on WhatsApp. You put a question there, student learn a meaning of a
Right,
particular word or so on. So I feel
right,
this connects us to that particular domain, education and supply.
right, right, right.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, in your session, your explanation on how neural network works was excellent. You gave a wonderful example about deep learning, different architecture involved, the recurring neural networks. Uh, it was that place where I got this question about what to forget and what to retain. The LLM, the transformer concept, it got more clarified to me. The multi-model and the multilingual, you gave wonderful examples of different organizations offering the AI platforms. The stages, right from releasing to implementing. Yes, another important thing which was very precisely explained was RAG versus fine tune. Those cases which you mentioned, generative AI, how generative AI can drive value in commercial banks. That was another good insight. Actually, I took a screenshot of that so that I can refer it again and understand it in more
Sure,
deeper.
sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, into healthcare and medical, into agriculture. So these were really insightful, and definitely, I think it requires more. If I'm not wrong, the AI would also require more time to get insights into ethical considerations and future aspects of
Right,
AI into
right,
itself, right? So
right, right.
a lot of things to be done and understood. So you explained the future applications of generative AI. Thank you so much for it, Mr. Sarkar. With the limited time frame, I think we had done a big justice to the particular topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm honored. Yeah.
I
Thank you
request
everyone for
everyone to
joining.
please switch on their cameras. I'll take just a group photograph and then we can close the webinar. Many people from Kolkata, I feel they have also joined. So Abir, Praful Ghosh, Mahanta, so those who are there, please switch on your cam so that we can take a
Hello,
photograph. Yeah.
hello, sir.
Yes, Rohit.
Sir, I want to know the difference between data analytics and business analytics.
Um, Mr. Sarkar, I think you are the right person to answer this.
Yes, but that will be something a different topic. Data analysis and business analysis. Basically, business analysis also we are dealing with data only. Okay, so people are actually have that misconception of the data engineering side and the business analysis side. Okay, so probably that is a mixed one. In a data analysis, definitely in the business analysis part, business domain is very important, okay, to understand, because otherwise you cannot convert to the solutions. So you need to understand the domain part, okay, whether it is a retail, whether it's a banking. If you are working on the problem, let's say use case in the loan in a bank, okay, then you have to understand that end to end the process of loan, okay, how customer is onboarded, what kind of a product is there, what are the different way of dealing with that. Okay, that is the business
Okay, sir.
analysis, and that you are formulating to the technical solutions. Okay, so there you will do the data analysis. Now the data analysis means when you are doing some kind of your the discovery part. Okay, so you have a data in organizations, you are finding the pattern. So there you are putting your business knowledge as well as the technical knowledge over there, and you are bringing that pattern. Okay, so whether it is like an your exceptional scenario, something like a fraud. Okay, so if it is an outlier or not. Okay, so you have to apply your statistical analysis knowledge over there, and you have to bring that insight over there. And not only that, when let's say you are analyzing something using the machine learning language, you are generating some, let's say, the chart, different chart, okay, pie chart or bar chart or whatever. Okay, so the chart you are built. So now interpreting that chart, what exactly the meaning of that? Okay, so that is the data analysis part, and to correlate with the business, that is part is the business analysis part. Okay.
Okay, okay. Sir, means is data
It's a very
analytics is
close.
not.
It has two is very close and overlapping. Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Correct.
thanks, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sarkar. So I have captured the photograph. So we'll share it with you. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank everyone
everyone.
for joining. Thank you.